Hey guys, it's Core Ross and welcome to Busting Rainbow Six Siege. Today we are myth busting a new Swedish operator in Rainbow Six Siege coming with Operation Dread Factor. And this guy's new gadget is Fear itself, as he has proximity mines that he can place down and activate, and when an attacker goes into range, they will inhale the smoke from this gadget, which will reduce their vision to just a couple of meters. It's like being engulfed by the laser walls of Sens, but in a sphere around you that reduces in size. And of course that's very bad because you can't see the enemy. Now I do imagine that at one point this gadget worked differently, or maybe at least their plans were different. Because a fear-based gadget I think would be better if it just showed you hallucinations, if the actual walls of the maps moved, if you suddenly seen the defenders running around you or stuff like that and you didn't know what was real and what wasn't and you started shooting at stuff, that would be an incredible gadget, but maybe too complex for Rainbow Six Siege, whereas this one is a far simpler version where you just reduce in vision, which of course is very impactful to gameplay. So the gadget itself, even though it may be relatively simple, it could be extremely powerful. But we're going to start with the first myth, which is actually this guy's biggest weakness. And that is that he has to activate his gadget. So he places them out, he's got 5 of them total, and he can put them all around the map. And you can see where they are, and then if he looks at them, even through walls, he can send out an activation code which will activate the gadget. However, he only has 3 activation codes. And the problem is, as soon as one of his active gadgets is destroyed, he loses that activation code. So he goes from having 3 codes he can send out and activate 3 devices to only having 2. And then if the 2 other active devices get destroyed, then he cannot activate the remaining 2 devices. They just stay inactive for the rest of the game and are entirely useless. What also makes this worse is that if you've sent the activation code to the device and an attacker walks in range and they're affected by it, most likely they're going to turn around and shoot that device and destroy it. And you cannot deactivate it when it's actually sending out its gas. So it's very likely if you're on the other side of the map, you just badly positioned yourself and that device goes off and you're like, oh crap, I want to switch off before they destroy it. Well, unfortunately, you cannot deactivate it when it's spewing the smoke out, which I would like to be able to do, just to be able to switch it off even when it's activated by the proximity of an attacker. But yeah, this is confirmed. This is the biggest weakness of this gadget, and it wasn't really explained too well in the reveal. And I want to say that it is the biggest thing you should be thinking of when it comes to this gadget so that you can use it well. And this is the thing, you're going to have to be very smart to use this well. It's not like smoke where it's a bit simpler to just throw it out and block off a certain area. This one, you really got to juggle the gadgets properly. You got to keep them covered. You got to have everything set up really well to use this guy properly. Now let's talk about BRAVA against the new operator's gadget. So she has the ability to obviously hack gadgets, and this is an electronic gadget, so she can mess with it. First of all, if it's in its closed bulletproof configuration, her drone can overheat the gadget and destroy it, which I think is very powerful for BRAVA because she's wiping out one of those bulletproof gadgets from the field, and I think that's a very good thing for her. Then if she does come across an activated gadget, she can then take control of it and it is then hers, which means it will affect defenders, and if they run by it, it'll go off. Now, the other thing to think about here is that when you capture one of these from FENRIR, then he does not get his activation code back. So if you actually find all 3 of his activated gadgets and hack them, that's his gadgets off the board. He cannot activate the last 2 remaining gadgets. This is something I'd love to see changed. I think the whole interaction here with BRAVA needs tweaking. Because first of all, I'd love if she couldn't destroy the bulletproof versions, and if she does hack the actual active ones, I think it'd be an actual good game mechanic if the new guy could actually rescind the activation code and pull it off, and then allow him to activate another device around the map. I think there's more potential here for cool interactions with BRAVA, and I think it's a little bit basic right now. But we'll see how this plays out on the live servers in the future, and of course they can always balance change things as they do. But I would say right now, BRAVA is an extremely powerful counter to this new operator, and well worth bringing if you find him being played quite a lot in the new season. So that is confirmed. Now let's talk about GLAZ, who has a thermal scope that can see through smoke. And you might think that this can actually see through the gadget's effect that it has on you. However, the smoke that is coming out of the gadget doesn't actually block visibility. It is the one that is causing you to hallucinate. And then you start to see this kind of hallucination that closes in on you, which looks a little bit like smoke or some sort of laser wall or something like that. And as such, his thermal scope actually has no impact on it whatsoever. And that's also why when someone else is looking at you, they can see you perfectly fine. There's no actual blockage of view from smoke or anything like that. And his thermal scope has no impact, so that is busted. Now IQ is a very good counter to any tech-based gadget, but I actually think she's an extremely good counter against this operator. And that's because she can tell when one of these gadgets is active or inactive, and as such she can really inform our team on how to play around these gadgets or eliminate them entirely, because she can shoot through the surfaces and take out gadgets that she's detected that are active, and that's even from behind. So this thing is a little bulletproof disc and it only opens up from the front. So you would assume when this thing's active that if you shot it from behind it wouldn't be destroyed, but actually when it's open it's vulnerable from any angle whatsoever. So IQ is just a really good counter to just wipe these things off the board. And like I say, in the very first myth, he has activation codes for his gadget. So if you take out the active ones, he doesn't get the codes back and cannot activate more gadgets. So that's confirmed IQ is a very strong counter. Now let's take a look at the other sniper in the game, and that is Callie. So first of all, her big powerful sniper rifle is not able to take out the bulletproof gadgets. That's the same with GLAZ's rifle as well. However, her gadget, the explosive lance, is capable of taking out even the bulletproof version of this gadget. So even though direct hits from a rifle is not able to destroy the bulletproof version, her gadget is. So I'd say she's a pretty damn good counter, and that is confirmed. Now one thing that could be very strong for Fenrir is the ability to throw his gadget outside and activate it without any problem, which could be used for spawn peeking or just having it on certain areas that you know the attackers are going to get quite close to the building when they're pushing in. And there's just a lot of maps where this could be incredibly powerful. For instance, the balconies on Skyscraper, just imagine setting them up so that when someone quick repels in onto the balcony, they suddenly get hit by this, you jump out and take them out. It's going to be quite a powerful thing, and I think the outside plays with this new guy is going to be quite powerful, so that is confirmed. Now the bulletproof version of this gadget, when it is inactive, can only be destroyed by explosives. So you can walk up, you can melee it, you can shoot it, and nothing happens. The only operator who has something that isn't explosive that can deal with it is Sledge, as his hammer will one-shot even the bulletproof version of this gadget. But I will point out that although this is great, the reality here is that for the most part, if you see one of these and it's closed, just walk by. Like, there's not going to be probably much reason to actually stop and take it out. Of course you can, but if you can get past and actually get to this guy without being detected, you'll probably have more of an advantage that way. But certainly Sledge is able to take out even the bulletproof version of this gadget, and that is confirmed. Now we have Thatcher, and this also includes the secondary EMP gadget as well, as the interaction is the same. So his EMP is capable of disabling all the versions of the gadget. So that's the inactive bulletproof version and the active one. And for both cases, you will be able to then shoot the gadget and destroy it, as the EMP opens up the protective casing and you can destroy the gadget very easily. So Thatcher being yet another good counter. Now that interaction with the EMPs was very much what I was expecting. However, with Twitch, it was not the case, as I was totally expecting the Twitch drone to zap the bulletproof version and for that version to open up and then be able to shoot it again to destroy it. And that wasn't the case. So this is actually kind of a surprising outcome for me for Twitch. Just, I was assuming the wrong thing. That's why this whole series of Mythbusters started, because I was simply assuming stuff wrong. And I thought, maybe we should test all this stuff. So yeah, the bulletproof version is actually completely impervious to Twitch, which is nice. I like the fact that she can't easily take them out. So that is busted for Twitch. And then going in the same direction, we've got Zero with his cameras having a laser on them. He can also do the same thing here, where he is unable to touch the bulletproof version, but he is able to destroy the ones that have been activated. So confirmed for easily destroying the activated ones, which is probably what you want to do, but the inactive ones, he just can't do anything about them. But anyway guys, that is the new operator tested for Rainbow Six Siege's next season, Operation Dread Factor. If there's anything I missed, let me know in the comments below, and tell me what you think of this new Swedish operator.